Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Green Nurse Podcast, where we bring you hope and inspiration for growth and healing. We're here to decrease stigma around what it means to feel good and be high.
We're here to educate and empower patients to make choices that are best for them. We're also here to decrease stigma around what it means to feel good and be high. Hence the H for hope, I for inspiration, G for growth, and H for healing. The Green Nurse is a holistic cannabis nurse that teaches on the endocannabinoid system and the safe utilization of cannabis and other progressive tools to help people reach a better quality of life.
I was cannabis agnostic for many, many years. And the more research I did, the more I discovered that cannabis is this amazing medicine.
I was told that I had a 4-stage pancreatic cancer. The doctor really told me he couldn't do anything else. He gave me her name and she called me and she came to my house. She started to give me cannabis. My oncologist was puzzled because he couldn't find the cancer anymore.
All of the learning that we get comes from the Green Nurses Group, comes from their support, comes from their guidance. I trust everything that she says.
Simply meet people where they're at. The plant doesn't, stress to grow, so we don't stress to share it. We're healing people.
Cannabis has been used as a medicine for tens upon thousands of years. Here's the big message. Cannabis needs to be federally legal. We need to have laws that are the same across all 50 states that allow access to anyone and everyone who wants to utilize this powerful medicine.
All right, y'all, rise and shine. It is happy Green Nurse Sherry and Michelle time. Hey, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to the morning show. It is Tuesday, the day after Labor Day. And like we talked about before, we're doing these morning shows because we're here to help educate and empower you all to make decisions that are best for you. And so what we've been thinking about doing, and we've been brainstorming here at the Green Nurse, is we thought it would be fun to start out having other nurses on the morning shows to bring different perspectives to all of the different information that we are presenting. And there's so many awesome cannabis nurses out there that have stories to tell and experiences to share. So we're going to give everyone that opportunity here at the Green Nurse Podcast. So today, my co-host is Green Nurse Michele Morris, who works with us as a cannabis nurse coach and consultant at Holistic Caring Network. I'm going to let her introduce herself as well because she does so much more in the community. Welcome, Michele.
Hi, good morning, everybody. So I'm Michele. I live here in Massachusetts. I've been consulting with the Green Nurse for almost 2 years now, and I'm still bedside nursing, so I'm wearing multiple hats. And I find that as a cannabis patient myself, I really felt like I needed to share this plant with anyone who would listen. And that's how I gravitated into consulting. But I'm really having a great time doing this. And terpenes fascinate me. So I'm excited to have been asked to come on Terpene Tuesday.
Yay. Awesome. We love terpenes for sure. Truly didn't understand them at first. But as we've evolved in the cannabis space and learning about the plant and all the different ways that it works in the body, terpenes just make sense because they each have their own individual medicinal component. And then when you put it all together with the plant, wow, how awesome is that? So generally, when in the morning times, we start off with, Nurse Mark does the AFA, absolutely fucking amazing, Living a Life You Love. And we talk about stuff from his book a lot of the mornings. But today I thought we would talk about a subject that is near and dear to my soul. And it has to do with, perspective consciousness, emotional processing, and different things, to how you can start your day off, living a life you love. What are some different tips, tricks, and tools? And a lot of the times that we do in the morning is we read the Daily Love. And I read from various books. A lot of people read from various books, to just bring a different perspective, to bring that hope, to bring that inspiration, to help you to grow, to help you to heal. And one of my favorite books is The 4 Agreements. And The 4 Agreements was written by Don Miguel Ruiz. And he is an amazing, he's just an amazing, enlightened, speaker. And so the 4 agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz reveals the source of self-limiting beliefs that rob us of joy and create needless suffering. And it's based on ancient Toltec wisdom. So the 4 agreements offers a powerful code of conduct that can rapidly transform our lives to new experiences of freedom, true happiness, and love. So the 4 agreements, I'm going to read 4 of them, and we're just going to talk about one briefly. So the first agreement is to be impeccable with your word, and that's the one we're going to talk about. The second one is to not take anything personally. That's really important. The fourth one is don't make assumptions. That's really important. And then the fourth one, always do your best. And that's what we talk about, living your best life, doing your best.
Right.
So the fourth agreement, what really stuck out to me was, it is up to you to make this agreement with yourself first. If I am impeccable with my word, right? I am impeccable with my word. You're going to nurture the seed, and as it grows in your mind, it will generate more seeds of love to replace the seeds of fear. The first agreement will change the kind of seeds your mind is fertile for. So use the word to share your love, right? Sharing love, that's what it is. And so being impeccable with your word is, the word is magic. Everything that we do say can either be for good or not good, and we need to choose our words wisely. And it's an also important concept when we're talking to ourselves, because think about the deepest, most richest, most beautiful relationship you could ever have is the one with yourself. And we also need to think about how we talk to ourselves. What do you think about that, Michele?
Oh my God, self-talk is everything. You can talk yourself up or talk yourself down in any situation.
Yeah. So here at the Green Nurses, we bring that hope, that inspiration for growth and healing. We tie cannabis into all of this because one of the first things that I've seen as myself, as a patient, and also with a lot of the other patients that we work with, is that they come to us without hope. They come to us as a last resort. They come to us without information, and they come to us that's filled with fear. And they come to us listening from words of others about this plant, right? They're being impeccable with your words. So when you think about looking at the history and looking at plant medicine, you need to think about where the messages you're getting in your head are coming from. And you need to rethink and start to learn and start to read and start to, evaluate language in context to health, wellness, and plant medicines. So this is what we do here at the Green Nurse. We're here to bring you that hope. That hope is that, to just change your perspective. And what is a true miracle? A miracle is a change of perspective, that aha moment when it makes sense. And through hope, we share through stories, and inspiration. What happens when you are inspired? You're filled with spirit. And when you're inspired, it often triggers a response for you to do something different. And then growth. It's all about growing in health, and healing. And healing isn't the absence of illness or disease. Healing is doing the best you can with what you have right here, right now. What would you say your experience with that is, Michele? Because Michele works in the traditional system. You've had 5 days off, and
oh, it's been lovely.
now you're going back to work. So
right.
How does
5-day stretch? So
these spiritual principles tie into to what you're going through today.
Yeah. So I try to just be as grounded as possible, especially before going into like a setting like that where people are feeling unhealthy, they're feeling anxious. You have to be, as the healer, the grounded one for everyone else.
Absolutely. So good morning, Eric. Good morning, Carrie, Lee, and Brian, and Marissa. We're so glad to have you here this morning. Rise and shine. And we're going to get into Terpene Tuesday right away. And the reason why we want to talk about terpenes is because they are a huge component of plant medicine. And they're found in multiple different areas besides the cannabis plant. So Michele, do you want to tell everyone what a terpene is?
Right. So a terpene is an organic compound that gives the smells and the tastes to things. So they're found in cannabis, essential oils, plants, trees, foods. I'm totally fascinated by them. Like if there's a chart out there with terpenes on it, I have it. but it's a
Oh,
lot to learn, right? So
no doubt.
in cannabis, terpenes help ward off attacks from animals and insects and fungus during the growth cycle of the plant. So when a cannabis plant goes through the curation process, the terpenes actually become oxidized, resulting in what we know as terpenoids.
Here we go. Yeah.
Okay. So terpenes, why they're so amazing is they contribute to the entourage effect and have their own healing properties. So the entourage effect suggests that utilizing cannabinoids and terpenes together produces more potent medicinal effects rather than using the isolated compounds. The whole of the plant is greater than its individual parts.
There we go. Boom, boom, boom. And just think about this too. So if the cannabis plant, think about us as a community. The whole of the community is greater than its individual parts. So we need to get everyone on board here. We need to get everyone educated, people motivated, decreasing that stigma around what it means to feel good. These are plants. These plants are here for a reason, and they're here to help us to grow in health. So one of the terpenes we're going to talk about today, I have this big giant screen up here, and it shows the most abundant terpenes and their different medicinal effects, but we're going to actually focus on geraniol. And so this terpene's name may sound really familiar because it's derived from the geranium plant, the herb known for its citrus scent and its insect repelling properties. So it has been known to attract beneficial insects such as honeybees. It has a gentle rose-like scent with subtle notes of fruit and a softer smell than the strong smell of citronella oil that is also found in geraniums. Geraniol has a rose-like scent that is often an ingredient in the creation of perfumes and often, believe it or not, in cigarettes. So we're going to go back and forth, Michele and I, about geraniol. And I'm going to talk about the description of geraniol first. So it's the concentrated form of geraniol is colorless, pale yellow, oily liquid. And just think about this. It's considered an allergen that may cause skin, eye, and respiratory irritations. You kind of scratch your head. I'm like, if that's good for you, how could it possibly do this? Well, that's the important thing when we're looking at different components of the plant. The biphasic effect of plants. Lower doses do one thing, higher doses do something else. So this specific caution around geraniol means that this really concentrated version of it can be an irritant. So that's when we're talking about terpenes, that they're in microscopic amounts, just little bits, and they contribute to that entourage effect. The cannabis plant, as we discussed over and over and over again, there's some speculations that it has over 1,500 components. We heard from Dr. Spellman, who said that, but for the majority of people, they say there's over 500 components: terpenes, cannabinoids, essential fatty acids, bioflavonoids, cannaflavins. So all of these rich components in multiple different amounts, but the terpenes represent a smaller amount, but they do contribute to the entourage effect. So let's get back to that. Scent description.
So so it, we kind of covered this already. There's like a floral, rosy, citrusy, tangy kind of scent to geraniol.
Yeah. And where else is it found? What other sources?
Yep. So natural sources besides geraniums would be rose oil, lemongrass and lemons, peaches and grapefruits, oranges, carrots, believe it or not, coriander, which is a spice, blueberries, blackberries, and tobacco. That's where the cigarette part came in from earlier.
There you go. Yeah, great. Here's an interesting thing that I learned. The strangest synthesis of geraniol is within the honeybees, who produce it in the scent glands as both the marker for nectar-bearing fruits, and as a territorial mechanism to thwart off potentially dangerous colonies from creating a hive or taking over a pollination site. So that's really, really interesting. Honeybees use it to protect, their ground, their territory. Other uses of geraniol are found in perfumes, colognes, lotions, detergents, candles, as well as many other household products. The other thing that we noticed too is that we've seen it in food pastries and desserts in some of the ingredients. And so what about the summary of geraniol?
Right. Super antioxidant, neuroprotective, anti-inflammatory, and possibly inducing vasorelaxation, possible anti-tumor effects too.
That's amazing. So studies. So when we look at these specific terpenes, we look at study sources, and we've been looking through Cannakeys. Cannakeys has a lot of great resources and most of the up-to-date research on different information. So studies by organ system includes those that focus on the digestive tract, nervous, respiratory, cardiovascular, immune, endocrine, reproductive, integumentary, and skeletal systems. So think about that. That pretty much covers the entire umbrella. So when we talk about the endocannabinoid system is the largest neuroregulatory system in our body. It regulates all 11 organ systems, our immune system, and all of the neurotransmitter signaling systems. So it makes sense that they're going to be studying all of these different systems in regards to the specific terpene. So geraniol has been the center of a handful of studies, and it demonstrates therapeutic potential. And so the top conditions that are related to geraniol studies include cancer, oxidative stress, colon cancer, spinal cord injuries, staph infections, metabolic syndrome, which is prediabetes, colitis, cardiac arrhythmias, and Parkinson's. And so then other studies have shown essential oils. So other studies have shown, so there's a lot of other oils that we had talked about that have geraniol in it. So other studies with these essential oils that have geraniol have also been found to have potential tumor reduction properties in cancer cells, and may even be able to inhibit the growth of specific colon cancer cells. I thought that was fascinating. And then in animal studies, primarily on hamsters and rats, it's been shown the potential of geraniol to manage diabetes, hyperglycemia, as well as to help mitigate the symptoms of atherosclerosis. And that's the condition that causes the formation of plaques in the arteries. And then we look at receptors, and this is something that we're getting in just a little bit deep, because when we talk about cannabinoid therapeutics, we have cannabinoid receptors on all of our cell surfaces of our organ systems at the neurotransmitter signal junction sites. And we also have other receptors in our body that receive messages from other neurotransmitters. And so one of the receptors that's listed here is the PPAR gamma receptor, and that's found in all tissues except for muscle, mostly found in adipose tissue, fat, and in the gut. So I thought that was really fascinating. And then we talk about strains. What do you think about strains? People will be like, oh, strains, what strain is this? And,
the list goes on and on and on.
Right.
I'm wrapping my head around terpenes and flavonoids, and then strains, I'd have to start all over. It's just endless.
It is. And so strains were really an important concept, to help people to differentiate based on therapeutic effect, and this was before the science has evolved. People would grow the cannabis, the different conditions, the different climates, how they fed it, how they watered it, the love that they gave to it. And terpenes, like we had said, they form as the plant starts to grow, and oxidize and mature. And different growing conditions and different temperatures, different climates can affect how the plant is going to produce the different components in the plant. And so terpenes generally are found to give that specific effect, whether it be a sativa stimulating effect or an indica, more couch, more relaxing effect. And so, when patients are, I see messages all the time. Patients will be like, oh, what strain should I take? Oh, what strain should I take? And I said, really, we need to start thinking about, besides strains, looking at multiple areas, other parts of the plant, looking at chemotype. So chemotype 1 is more THC than CBD. Chemotype 2 is equal amounts of CBD and THC. And then chemotype 3 is more CBD than THC. And then you need to think about the different terpenes. So the terpenes do play a really, really important part of it. But when we're also consuming cannabis, it depends upon how you're going to consume it, how it was extracted, because there's a lot of things on the market today that do have strain specific. I've seen blends, Blue Dream tincture, right? And so you would want to look and see, not just what the terpenes are, but the different cannabinoids as well is going to contribute to whether they have that effect or not. So I guarantee, and here's just another thing, I guarantee if you took a Blue Dream strain from various different areas of the country and you had it tested, even it could even be the same grow, right? Different areas, you may get a different lab result. And
Right.
it's all because terpenes are affected, by the growth cycle, by everything that we do or don't do with the plant. So what is your experience? Because I know, Michele, you actually have, let me get rid of the slide. You work with Green Compass, and you have a product line that you work with that is terpenes.
Right. This company's amazing. And so it's funny, they have a podcast as well. And this month they feature our aromatherapist and herbalist. And like, talk about a dream job. Like, when I grow up, I want that job.
Oh my God.
But she talks all about the terpenes. And we actually have a line of terpene boosters that have no CBD in them, but they pair really nicely with the CBD or without for certain effects. So they'll pair, anywhere from 4 to 7 or 8 different essential oils. So we can, ping a certain amount of these terpenes in combination so they can have like a mini entourage effect.
Yep.
And then when you pair it with the CBD, you get a true entourage effect. They're fantastic. Yeah. I mean, there's variations for sleep.
I was just going to ask you because you donated to Cannication.
Yes, I did.
So that's the other thing I want to
Feedback,
give a shout out. We have Cannication coming on Friday, the Green Nurse Retreat. And Michele donated a lot of different products for our guests to consume, to learn. And so tell us a little bit about like a little bit more about the terpenes, about the individual ones. So
Right. So just the particular line of terpenes alone is really exciting. And there's several different combinations that are put together to focus on a certain issue. So one of them is designed to help with calm and sleep. Another one is designed for metabolism. And I find personally, when I take that one, it helps kind of calm my appetite without being all that noticeable. It's very, very subtle, just like CBD can be. There's an immune support formula. There's a pain support formula. It actually has a nice little mix of mushrooms in it. It's fantastic.
Ooh, I can't wait.
So just really cool, kind of unique product. And those are without CBD in them.
Yeah. And so that's actually good too for people that are new, right? That they want to start, getting their feet wet, introduced to terpenes, and these aren't big, giant concentrated doses. They've been made specifically. Just give a little blurb, give a little plug for your company.
Right. So Green Compass everything we have is certified, USDA certified organic, and that includes the oils. So the oils are just as clean. The company's very transparent. And it's interesting for people that are still a little stigmatized with CBD, the terpenes are a great way to introduce them, and also topicals, like a bath bomb. Like, who doesn't like a bath bomb with, salts and essential oils in it? Dip your feet in that at night in a foot soak. Like, these are ways you can kind of ease people into plant-based medicine.
Yep. Good stuff. So really, really excited. I want to say I'm very, very grateful that you have donated, because Cannication Green Nurse Retreats is going to be the bomb, y'all. It's going to be awesome. So I'll just give a little history about that. So we started doing experiential learning at the beginning of the summer. Michele, myself, Nurse Jamie, and Denise, we did a half-day retreat at the Green Nurse Farm at Osprey Point Farm. And we thought, wow, this was a half day. I wonder what it would be like to have a whole weekend and incorporate cannabis-infused foods and other activities, being in an environment where we're all together, sleeping together, breakfast, lunch, dinner, nighttime activities. And so Denise invited me to Cannication in June, up at Cannication in Dexter, Maine. The name of the place is, I'm drawing a blank. I cannot believe I'm drawing a blank. Dexter, Maine. And it's at a beautiful inn. And so we went there to have an experience, a cannabis vacation. I've never had one, fully immersed. And so while we were there, we were thinking, how cool would it be to pair detailed cannabinoid therapeutic education, not only focusing on, chronic illness, disease, symptom management, but also wellness, right? So as a patient and a nurse, I went through this whole kind of windy road of where I first started off as a patient, relieving symptoms of chronic debilitating illness and starting to live a better quality of life. So then now we enter into cannabis wellness, right? How do we stay whole, healthy, happy. How do we continue on this trajectory? Well, we've talked and educated cannabinoid therapeutics is much more than just cannabis. It's about all of the different health and wellness tools that exist that pair really nice with cannabis. The goal, right? What is the goal of cannabis? The goal of cannabis is to take the least amount to get the effect that you're looking for to improve the quality of your life with whatever activity that you're choosing to use, right? The minute cannabis enters into your body, it acts as medicine, especially because it has a physiological effect. So it's really, we're teaching people how to have an embodied experience, whether it be to manage symptoms of chronic illness, whether it be to incorporate cannabis wellness tips, tricks, hugs, and nugs into your daily life. And even we're going to teach how to have a recreational experience. Because when we're teaching people how to consume cannabis for elevation and to have fun, we're really just teaching safety. We're teaching anatomy and physiology. We're teaching them about their body so they can have that safe experience. So we decided to have an all weekend inclusive where we are going to be bringing cannabis to every activity. And so the part that's great about it is that if you're new to cannabis, this is a place you want to come because you have a choice to either do it or not do it with each individual activity. So you can see the comfort. So it's going to include yoga, breath work, journey dancing, drumming. We're going to have a water ceremony, a fire ceremony. There's going to be bath bombs, infused meals. Each infused meal, there's going to be a little goodie bag on your plate. And at the dinner time, we're going to discuss each of the different products and how to use them. And so we want you to come away with an embodied experience, meaning that you're just not hearing it, you're experiencing it, having the experience in a safe environment with nurses. They're going to be looking over you. And so you'll be leaving Cannication Green Nurse Retreats with Energized Living with a little tool bag, a little tool bag of goodies, hugs and nugs, and lots of information. So thank you so much for and terpenes. So some of the Green Compass products that Michele has donated to our event will be there for people to learn. And the other thing I want to say about Green Compass Global, I'm really excited, is that Green Compass Global is going to be one of our Green Nurse approved product lines in the holistic caring Green Nurse community CBD marketplace. So we're really, really excited for that. Let me just pull up and see if anyone has any questions. Rise and shine. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. It is Tuesday after the holiday. Oh, thank you guys, Beth, Marissa, Mario. Thank you guys for coming on and joining us this morning. We are really happy to have you here. We show up every day because we care. We love you. We want you to get educated. We want you to feel safe. We want you to feel comfortable. We're here to decrease stigma around what it means to feel good and be high. Hence that big, long video at the beginning of the show. Right?
I love the new video.
I know. I like the video too. So as we close out this awesome day, we want to remind you all to come and join us in the Green Nurse Holistic Caring Community, where you will get plenty of hugs, plenty of nugs of information. The community is wonderful because number one, it's free. It's uncensored. All of our podcasts are there. Free introductory to cannabis course, free patient portal, free patient support group, free book club. And guess what? You don't even need to own the book, right? And we have monthly webinars, and it is a place for all people, patients, and providers across the globe. So we would really love to have you all there. Come join us. Thank you for joining us this morning. Michele, do you have any other words of wisdom for Tidbit Tuesday, hugs and nugs?
Just be sure to use your cannabis because the world is crazy out there and we need it more than ever.
May the best version of ourselves come forth in this moment in time so we can reach the most people and may cannabis help us lead the way. Right. Thank you all so much for joining us. We hope you have a fabulous day. And remember what it is all about, y'all. It's about living your best life and helping others do the same.